Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered! Today it's going to be a ZVP between PusaN and Savior. Again, here on Fighting Spirit. Top right-hand corner is the purple Protoss player. It is PusaN. And in the bottom left-hand corner is the blue Zerg player. His name is Savior. Alright, man. It's going to be Savior here versus a younger Protoss player. He got his start, what year is this? 2001 or so. Okay, not that late actually. Maybe 2 or 3 years after Brood War was released. So not brand spanking new to the scene when it came out, but got his start as a teenager. Said he kind of started out in a poor family, didn't even own a computer. And he was introduced to StarCraft by a bunch of friends. And he fell in love and convinced his parents to buy him a computer for his studies, which he used to play StarCraft, and within a year, he was the top player in Jumpo in his local region in PusaN. That's his name. Okay. And won many tournaments, even winning $50 from placing first in a money map tournament. All right, so really great player here. He's been around for a very long time. He's going to give Savior all he can handle. This is Savior, again, based on the Smurf list. That's what we're looking at here, but should be pretty fantastic stuff. I feel like I haven't posted a ZVP in a while, although could be wrong about that. 3 times a week for the Brood War, you guys, is 3 times a week for the Brood War, and it adds up to a lot of casting. Now, interestingly enough, I did find this on bwreplays.com, a good place to go to find replays of professional level players and lower level players and team games and whatnot. I've really appreciated that resource as I've been trying to get more Brood War for you guys. It's been a challenge to find replays to cast, but doing my best here. And again, if you have access to anything you can send to me, I would be so appreciative. I will call you out. I'll promote something of yours if I end up casting your game. I mean, let's make sure we have enough Brood War content to last forever. Forever and ever. Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be the best? I think it would. All right, so early game here, Hatch. First play out of Savior into a spawning pool. Nothing too crazy from him. I mean, as far as aggression goes, it's definitely more of a macro opening. And then that is a Nexus first out of PusaN too. So he recognizes what's going on. He scouted. He saw the timing on the hatch and said, I don't need anything for a while. Let's go Nexus first. Let's go into a forward, get some cannons just to be prepared for Lings if they do end up coming as soon as that spawning pool finishes. But we'll start that at the perfect time. Thank you very much. Probe continuing to scout, continuing to see what's going on here. And I mean, there's really nothing to see. I guess you can see the timing the gas has been taken. Congratulations, you know when the gas is coming up here for Savior. I do enjoy the drone scouting that we're seeing, the Overlord scouting, running all over the place. Oh, that's a third base. Never mind. That's a third here. Because he already scouted. Derp, we got this. We got this. Third base here. Coming up against Protoss. You want it on the low ground, so you can wall it off with some Sunkens to deal with Zealots, and then you take your fourth up in this top left-hand corner in this particular sense and situation for Savior. So, knows what he's doing here is PusaN. He's got walled off. He has a cannon coming up far enough away to where Lings can't ever possibly reach it. And I really feel like, yeah, that is a very quick lair here. 3.5 minute lair from Savior. He's got the 1 gas. Is he going for, we could see some Hydra play. We could see a Lurker rush. That's something that is pretty viable and pretty popular in ZVP. And in the meantime, what are we working on back here in Protoss land? That's a Cybernetics core. Until that's done, we won't really know what we're going to expect. But it's a quick double gas there, which indicates we're going to see something other than just a bunch of Zealots. Although we could see, again, a giant swell of Zealots try to take down this third base, which PusaN, I don't think he's even scouted, but he has to know it's on its way. Although he probably has scouted it based on the fact there's a probe out here scouting stuff up. Metabolic boost on the way from Savior, just because Lings are much better if they have speed. Does he even have any Zerglings is what I'd like to know. I don't think he's even made any. Okay, he's got some on the way. Production tab says, here we are. We've got 4 Lings. They're going to have speed fairly soon. And almost picking off that probe. The probe a little bit too smart. A little bit too tricky. Just walking right past him and heading on back home. What's our tech? What's our tech? Stargate opening right here. Likely going to see some Corsair to knock down this Overlord and this Overlord that are just out on the map. Super exposed. And very easy to kill if you happen to be a Phoenix or a Corsair player here. Gateway, Citadel of Adun here too. So this very well could just be Corsair DT. based on that structure. Going for a Spire, again, likely just for the Scourge. That's a good number of Lings, man. That is a pretty good swell. He's been increasing that number. And he's going to try to check for a third base. Nope, no third base up here, he says. What else can we look for? And there's really nothing else to see. There's no proxies to find. There's no sneaky hidden ninja bases. There's your Templar Archives. Okay, so it's going to be DTs, and it is going to be Corsairs. That probe is still scouting, still sees the Spire on the way. And really, Savior's just been allowed to toss up as many drones as he can. Getting a macro hatch helps to wall off against Zealots and produces additional larvae for you. And is that another one? Another macro hatch there at the third base too. So again, partially to wall off and partially for additional larvae. I'm surprised that Overlord wasn't found. I think the one... No, you know what? Is that the one that was over here? I bet it is. I bet he escaped. This guy's been running too. Running from these Corsairs that are out here to murder him. Ah, found one. Found one to kill. But Savior's not concerned. Losing one Overlord at this stage of the game is not going to kill him. And in fact, is just taking his fourth base at the 6-minute mark of the game. So absolutely insane greedy style from both of these players so far. And that's a Hydralisk Den coming up too. So yeah, the Scourge looks like they're just going to be, you know, for defense to deal with these Corsairs. And then we'll go into some Hydra play. Hydra is really having a beautiful spot in the meta of StarCraft Brood War. And I just, for a long time in StarCraft 2, they just weren't viable. They weren't good. And it made me sad. And now they're good. They're good. They're not overpowered. For a minute there, for one patch, they were overpowered. And every ZVP was basically a Hydralisk timing against Protoss that Protoss could not stop. They could not make the correct units to stop it in time. And that got patched out pretty quick by Blizzard. So they're still constantly balancing StarCraft 2. Bit of a more of a living game. And I did see a lot of balance complaints recently from you guys in the comments of these videos. As the DT wanders on into the natural base, going to start hacking some of these drones. Actually, not even all that concerned about getting all of the drones in the natural, which I feel like he maybe could have done. Wow, look at the retreat. The retreat of drones from the main base. There is an Overlord here, but nothing to stop this. In production are some Hydralisks. Overlord's speed is not even on the way. How are you going to find this dude? I guess it doesn't matter if they're here in a defensive capacity. Oh man, DT wandering in again. This drone transfer by Savior is problematic. This is some lost mining time for sure. Finally, Hydra's popping out. Trying to deal with this thing. Hydra not finding... Are you going to find this dude? Yep, does. And Overlord production here. Overlord placement here is pretty good. But Dark Templar able to evade just because, again, the Overlord does not have speed, and nor is it even on the way. Just getting Flyer Carapace. So the Scourge are a little bit tankier. So that Dark Templar gets wiped out. This DT isn't even around to get killed by the Hydralisks. He's too smart. And it's a Storm follow-up here from PusaN. So APM for these players, over 300 for PusaN, around 200 for Savior. And he's known as more of an aggressive Zerg, but so far not very aggressive at all the first 8 minutes of this game. Oh boy, the Zealots are wandering in, and there's only one sunken. Oh no, he's unprepared for this attack. What is going on? Just focusing down the drones. Not worried about the single sunken, smashing them up from the ground. Got more Zealots over this way. Got a Dark Templar running down here too. This is an amazing play out of PusaN for sure. How? Oh, this fourth base doesn't have anything. That's a full evacuation of drones. Can he maybe take down the hatchery? That'd be a huge play. Zealots running on down to the natural base, which does have enough to defend against this, I think. That's a good number of Hydras, good number of Lings, but with some DT support, this might be kind of amazing. I love this double-pronged attack right now from PusaN. But yeah, the Lings and the Hydras, they really complement each other well. Finally, some Hydras showing up at the fourth base to shut down that attack of Zealots. So the fourth base is still alive. Look at this DT just whack, whack, whack. Nope, focus down and killed. And once the DT's gone, the remaining Zealots just really can't get a whole lot done. Third base coming in for the PusaN over on the right side of the map. We're going for Lurker aspect. We're getting shuttles. Both players are teching into what they want to be toward the mid and the end game of this game. Now, Lurkers can be dealt with Reavers really from distance, and that's what you want to do with Lurkers, is you want to kill them from distance. Dragoons are also very good against Lurkers. We've seen that in the past. It's a beautiful answer, but then you get the Dark Swarm, and suddenly the Dragoons are just not nearly as effective because their entire attack is nullified by that Dark Swarm spell. It's so, so good. All right, Zealots moving on in, trying to go for another attack on the natural base. I just don't see this working right now. That's a good number of Hydras. They don't have much surface area to attack, right? Little choke here, little choke here. It's just the same way that you defend against Zerglings Anything melee, you want a choke point if you're defending. And if you're attacking, you want a wide surface area to attack with. I mean, it's stupidly obvious, but, you know, some people don't know. Some people don't understand those things about RTS games. Corsairs flying in, maybe to the 4th base. They're just looking for overlords, but they're not really finding any. Ah, okay. All right. All right. It is a zealot attack at the 4th base. Oh, he's trying to bait these guys to roll on down to the 3rd. And then he'll drop here. Good evacuation. Like, perfect evacuation there from Savior. But his 4th base continues getting handled by these zealots. They do have +1 attack. The Hydra's cruising on it. Don't have any attack upgrades quite yet, nor are there any in production right now. We're just spending all of our gas on Lurkers. Lurker tech really good against Zealots, which is good because PusaN has a ton of Zealots. Gets the Storm off. Ends up getting 1 kill. Dude, pick it up. Pick it up. Don't lose the High Templar. Ah, lost the High Templar. The Zealot attack, at least at the front, is rebuffed. And they're just hanging out on that bridge. So 3 base to 4 base. PusaN's okay. That's a Hive, man. Hive in production at home for Savior. And more Zealots cruising on down here. +1 attack is done, as we mentioned previously. And yeah, still no upgrades in that production tab for Zerg at all. 106 to 92 supply. Zerg is used to being down a little bit at this stage of the game. At least Jaedong is. Jaedong style, and Savior is good enough to be alongside Jaedong in a lot of ways. He's not his equal. He's not his equal because nobody can handle Darkstorm as well as Jaedong can. It's just it takes a lot of control, and I've never seen a Zerg player be able to do it as well as he can. There's even a game where we didn't know who the Zerg player was in a PvZ. Oh, the Storms are great here against these Hydras, though, and you guys in the comments were like, there's no one who can handle Darkstorm and Consume and Plague like Jaedong can. And it was him. And it was him the whole time. It was a beautiful spot and great analysis by you guys. And it just goes to show how amazing he is. All right, so some Zealots sacrificing their lives for really no reason there at the natural base. The front door of the 3rd looks entirely terrifying with Lurkers and Sunken Colonies coming in. I just don't know if these Zealots are going to be able to be all that valuable any longer. I really don't see it at all. Going for a 4th base down south is PusaN. I like it. Overlord kind of scouting around. Still don't have Overlord speed, which I can't believe. If you're playing against someone who has Dark Templar, you kind of want that just to be able to have some great mobile detection. Just kidding. That's not happening. Zealot here, perhaps scouting to see if a base is coming up in the southern location for Savior. Does get chased away. And that might actually lead into Savior discovering this base. Which, man, those Zealots with legs are super zippy and they hit so hard. They're really decent against a lot of stuff because of that. +2 attack is now done for the Zealots. Meanwhile, attack upgrade, +1 ground carapace being shared by the Lings and the Hydras and the Lurkers. And here's a pretty decent attack. Trying to come on in. Oh, the Zealots just running on in here. They take down the Lurker. One of them anyways. That was visible because of the detection. Oh, is it using the Lurker eggs to block the ramp? He's using the Lurker eggs to block the ramp. Ah, it's genius. It's genius by Savior. And now this southern base under attack by Zerglings, who do have adrenal glands. I think we just saw that upgrade kick in. You saw them attacking and then suddenly increase their attack speed greatly. All right, so Dragoons are out. Is there any sign of Dark Swarm? Is there a Defiler Mound? There it is. Defiler Mound now getting started. 144 to 125 supply, though. PusaN has a window where he can get a lot of stuff done here before Dark Swarm comes out. His upgrades are superior. The Dragoons are a perfect answer to these Lurkers. The Zealots need to hang back. He can't just move in here. He needs to target fire really well with the Dragoons and not let the Lings get on top of the Dragoons. It's a very complicated situation. He's doing pretty well with it right now. Rolling on in. That's a Lurker down, Sunken down, Storm down. He needs to get these 2 Lurkers. More and more Lurkers just getting massacred here. What a beautiful push here from PusaN. 126 to 113 supplies. Coming from the backside to try to save it. Lurkers are burrowing in. Lings are burrowing on it. Oh, 2 great Storm on those Lurkers. Is he going to hold this? It looks like he might be able to hold. But no, suddenly still we're dealing with, okay, there are Lurkers here. There's no detection available. There's the Observer. The Observer's back here. Going to pick out another Lurker. Got it. Did end up getting it, but just Dragoon versus Crackling is such a bad situation to be in. It's so horrible. Another Lurker burrows up. Finally, an Archon shows up. First Archon of the game. It dies, though, to the Hydras. The Corsairs are getting picked out of the sky, too. Woof. Taking a lot of damage from those Hydras, but also still chasing down. Look at this production, though, from Savior. He has so many Lings running on down here, and that's going to force PusaN back. PusaN might have been thinking about taking this center base, which is a little bit greedy for him. But he was looking great for a minute there, but then just too many reinforcements from the backside. Enough lurkers were there. A lot of them died. Let's not get that wrong. A lot of them died at the natural base, but otherwise, it was okay. Yeah, DTs defending against Lings without detection is just a no-brainer there. I'm loving that from PusaN for sure. Is he going to try to take another base? Savior sitting happily on 4. 5 bases would be nice to go up against this 3-basing Protoss. Another attack coming into the north here, where again we think, oh, canceling egg morphins. Nicely done. All right, so no, you can't have that base, as it turns out. 133 to 124 supply. I saw Consume being researched just a couple minutes ago, and so that means the Defilers are ready to rock. Are these dropper? Does he have drop researched? He must, with this number of Overlords coming over. Unless they're just there to provide kind of cover fire, right? Oh, okay. Well, big old attack into the 4th base. They do take down the 4th base. Nicely done. An attack up here getting cleaned up by PusaN too. What an absolutely great back and forth game this has been. Lings and Hydras here to clean out the Protoss in their top left-hand corner. They're going to be able to do it. It's 128 to 123 supply, which is amazing. The extra macro hatches actually provide drones places to go back to, even though their main hatchery was picked off. It looks like he can afford to replant it if he wants to at this stage. Are these Dropper Lords? I don't know if these are Drop Lords or not. I don't think they are. Ah, there it is. Ventral Sax is almost done researching. We're almost there. A bit of a storm drop attempt. Nobody was storming exactly, but it's rolling on in. But guess what there are? There are lurkers back here. Oh, there are lurkers back here. All right, hang on, man. 2 kills for him. Just taking lurker spines, though. Hang on. Ah, that's 2 High Templar that have been killed for no reason. It's just lack of attention here for PusaN. 5th base at the 9 o'clock position for Savior here. Drop Lords moving on in to this 3rd base. Can they take it down? Lings rolling on in. There's your Dark Swarm. Exactly what you want against these cannons, making the cannons virtually useless. Great storms, though. The storms are good, and the zealots are good, too. Is it enough is the problem. It is not enough. This base is going to die. Storming his own mineral line a little bit just to stop this from happening. Dark Swarm is every Protoss player's worst nightmare. Coming on in. Oh, the base does get sniped down by Speedlings with Crackling upgrade. But they are going to get chased away. So once again, a base gets taken down, but it's not completely over. What the heck? There's a zealot attacking. Was it attacking an egg or something? I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was. So replanting the Nexus here is PusaN. 12 o'clock position being taken here too. So he's at 4 bases. He's all right. He's feeling okay right now. I'm definitely on board with that. Additional Archons in production. And we've seen this. We've seen this time and time again on the channel. If a Protoss player can get up a whole ton of Archons, the Defilers become useless at that point. Plague doesn't bother them. Dark Swarm doesn't bother them nearly as much as it bothers other units. They're tanky. They do splash damage against these really squishy units like Hydralisks and Zerglings. And the answer cannot be Dark Swarm and Plague and Defiler play from the Zerg. It has to be something else. I think Guardian might be a decent answer to Mass Archon if you can pull it off, if there aren't too many Dragoons. But it's just hard to know. I'd like to see a Protoss get there and a Zerg player deal with it. And maybe that's what we're seeing here now, is we're trying to see as that shuttle is saved from the Scourge that are chasing it. This 5th base position is in a lot of trouble. Suddenly, PusaN's army is right here. The Sunken Colony provides a little bit of protection. Enough time for some lurkers to get in here and burrow, but the storms are immediately on top here, evaporating a lot of his own zealots a little bit there. Wow, lurkers getting killed there too. Hatchery does get focused down and picked off. Meanwhile, we have lurkers burrowing on in to that 3rd base on the right side of PusaN and causing some problems there too. So PusaN just rocks that 5th base while defending his own 3rd, and his 4th is still up and happily running just with some cannons. Are these trapped probes? I think those are trapped probes. That's not good. Probes, get out of there. They're stuck. They're stuck forever, man. 152 to 152 supply. Literally the same supply for just a second there. It has since increased by 1 for PusaN, but both players are just gearing up for some really hardcore late game ZVP here in Brood War. I can't imagine the pressure that PusaN is under right now playing Savior. He doesn't have nearly the resume that the Zerg player does, but if you can make it to minute 20 against Savior, you're pretty good. You have some abilities beyond that of your average professional Protoss player. We're just going to say that. So once again, here are some Archons, but are there... Gee willikers. I was worrying that the Archons would be in trouble, but nah. They're fine, and some reinforcements help there too. 18 kills on that Archon. 18 is a good number. Good number of kills. This Overlord, I keep thinking this Overlord's like a lurker or something hiding up here, but just an Overlord, not really providing anything but scouting. Is that a Drop Lord? No, I mean, they're all Drop Lords because they have the drop upgrade. I was wondering if maybe there's a drone getting dropped off there, but no, definitely not. Replanting his 5th base along the left side. The Savior. And he's going for Hydra. I really think that's a good idea. Hydra is a great answer to Archons. They have distance on Archons. Especially upgraded, they do pretty well. They trade pretty well against those Archons, especially if they're kiting. The problem comes when you have charge lots chasing you down that you have to deal with, and storms. If you stand and fight, Hydras are going to have a hard time. Man, everyone just dies there. Defiler. Nope, sorry Defiler, you're out. Decent Plague, though. Decent Plague on a bunch of these Zealots, which is, again, is your target. And Dragoons, which is your target. And High Templar is another one of your targets, but I don't see any of those guys with the patented and trademarked red goop on them. Pushing again is a PusaN. He wants to take down this 5th base. If he can keep Savior on 4 bases, I think he's going to have a better time. Did he bring detection or not? Yes, he absolutely did, but he was worried about getting attacked from the back side here. Great storm play. I mean, his storms have not been Jaedong level, like ridiculously great, but they've been pretty good. All right, the Archons, that is too many. You're basically 1-to-1 Archon versus Hydra is not a good place to be at all. Additional Hydras are coming on in, which is nice. We're chasing away. And High Templar getting focused down. Nice focus there from Savior. Bit of a flank attack attempt on the right side here from Savior. Nope, that doesn't happen. And now the Hydras are trying to do that kiting thing. Okay, they're not even trying to kite. There we go. Now they're trying to kite, but blah, blah, blah. Too many of them are dying in the process. So PusaN sitting on 4 bases very comfortably. It looks like maybe... Oh, Savior tried to take a base in the bottom right, but a DT wiped it out. He's got 16 kills, by the way. 16 kills on that, bro. All right, so 5th base backup. It is up. I kind of feel like PusaN could have pushed on that. Could have pushed on it and kill it and just decided not to. Why is he going this way? Does he want to establish a base in this location? I don't know, you want to bring your whole army down here, man. It kind of leaves the other bases exposed. Little groups of units here from Savior coming in from all directions. This is exactly what you have to do. So Storms can't wipe out everything you have. Great Dark Swarms. The Archons, once again, don't care all that much. Lurkers just getting absolutely eviscerated there. Exploded. There's really no other way to describe the Lurker death animation other than exploding. Metasynaptic node on the way. Defiler energy. Potential of, well, not a potential, but a maximum of plus 50 energy to their total from 200 to 250, I believe it is. 161 to 159 supply now. This game is bananas. I know some of the recent games haven't been as good as this one, but you gotta have the mediocre games to appreciate the great ones, and that's what this is. Goodbye, drone count at the natural base. We hardly knew ye. Attacking from the north now is PusaN. Coming right on in and just catching small scattered groups of Zerg and just murdering them. Wow. Just taking them out. And Dark Swarm enough to push this back a little bit. Storming into it. And then the Defiler gets chased away. Good old splash damage helping with that one. Thanks to everybody, by the way, who gave me feedback on the Flash versus Hero video about volume. I'm going to keep it on 2. And I think we'll be just fine. It seems fine when I look at it after it's been cast, and it's fine while I'm casting it. Lurkers, no, ow. Oh, what a pickup. Picked up the Lurkers to keep them alive. One of the Overlords did get picked out of the sky, though. Some Zealots dying here senselessly for no reason. Archons attacking on in to the 3rd base. Hydra's trying to stop this thing from happening. Where's the High Templar? There's the High Templar. There's your Storm. That's a lot of Hydra, though. The transition from Savior is perfect here. Just mass Hydra. They're sitting on +3/+1, which is weird, and it's 3/3 for the Archons and the Zealots and the Dragoons. No shield upgrades. Well, there are. Just the one here. For shield upgrade, which is shared by everybody, including buildings for Protoss. But Archons benefit immensely from that because they're mostly shields. Alright, so some Zealot Archon stuff here in the top left. Getting cleaned up by the majority, well, a lot of Savior's army anyway. Look at him holding the middle. Man, he's got some pretty scary groups of units around here. So experimenting a little bit with what he needs to make this thing happen is PusaN. He's in a great position. He's got a good number of bases. He's got 4 bases against a 5-basing Zerg, which is fine at the 25-minute mark for sure. Another base would not be amiss, I don't think. Plague catches a lot of those Dragoons. Ah, sorry, tried to scroll with the mouse button. Tried again. That's a lot of Lurker, though. That is so much Lurker. Great Storm down south. Is that another Plague, or is that the one previous? I don't know what that was at all. Hydra's pulling back into the relative safety of their Dark Swarm there. 300 to 269 on the APM on the day here for PusaN. He's actually out APMing Savior, but this is not looking good. The Storms, though, really keeping these units alive longer than they otherwise would. That is some gorgeous and disgusting Storm. 5 kills on that guy. 5 kills on that guy, too. This guy has 0. He's new to the crowd. He's trying to fit in, but he's not doing very well. This Archon man's like, I got 14 kills. What do I actually attack here? I guess this. Blah! That's the sound Archons make when they die. Is blah! I mean, obviously not, but. All right, third base in a little bit of trouble. There are a ton of Hydras back here. Is that Khadaren Amulet? It is Khadaren Amulet. Same thing as Metasynaptic Node. Great Storms again. +2 attack has now been researched by Savior. Reavers into play. Look at that. That thing went down, around, and up and over to hit that. That was amazing. What the heck was that? I don't know, but so many Lurkers coming from the backside. Dark Swarm is up. Savior not able to save most of his third base here, but a good number nevertheless. That Reaver cannot be sitting here taking direct shots. Okay, it's completely gone. Zealots attacking drones as they can. Hydra's trying to clear those suckers out. This has just been an incredibly bloody battle right here. But additional Zealots rolling in. Archon Zealot doing pretty well. Savior continuing to produce Hydras at an extremely high rate. But Zealots with legs can catch you and stab you in the face with their side blades pretty quickly. Storm there on the right side. I think that High Templar died as... Nope, he's right here. Oh, he's out. And the Zealots are finally going to get overwhelmed and destroyed there. Whoa! This match, Savior on the move immediately says, you cannot take the middle. You can't cancel it. Cancel it. Oh, last second cancel. Oh, that was close. That was really close. Nice Plague on the Zealots up north. Consume. I've heard people say that Consume is the most broken spell in all of StarCraft Brood War, and it's really good. I can't really argue about that aspect of it. Whether it's broken, hard to say. Zealot attack in the bottom right. Yeah, getting cleaned up. Not a huge deal there. Is he still, man, heading down? These guys just refuse to hold still. They refuse to stop for anything. So here goes nothing, man. Zealots, Archons. Sneaking on down here to the bottom right. And there are some Lurkers in production, but they're not there yet. Dude, get that Defiler. Get the Defiler. Can't get the Defiler. Everybody gets plagued. I think this is defended. I really do. The Lurker count is really high. The Zealots are all plagued. The Archon gets caught up and picked off from distance by the Hydralisks with their acid spit. And, oh, actually getting it. Actually getting the hatchery there before the Zealots all died. What a play. What a huge clutch play there from PusaN. Not allowing the 6th base to get up for Savior in the situation was absolutely of the extreme utmost importance. Okay, now the good news from PusaN here. He's only lost 1 Nexus. He's getting mined out, though, is the problem. Savior happily mining from effectively 3 bases. Effectively 3. He still has minerals, and his main is natural, which is kind of cool. Bottom right is not ready to go here, but it's really just this 1 mining base, and it's hugely oversaturated for PusaN. He needs to win, or he needs to expand in the next couple of minutes here. And I don't know which one he's going to do. Dragoons fighting in, just useless against these Lurkers, but the Zealots and the Archons can clear it out, no problem. 138 to 121 supply. Savior's up, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Zerg players can get up. Once they get up that 5 base economy, they can make a ton of units really, really fast. This very well is going to get an epic tag, you guys. Great storm drop. Oh, over here at the 5th base, catching a ton of those drones. 8 kills on that High Templar, and he's still there, man. He's still there. Some lings are coming in to shut him down. Oh, there was this guy helping too. He's got 2 kills. Look at this guy. He's like, I'm just gonna... Oh, did he try to... He whiffed! He whiffed with that storm! Oh, no! Okay, no, never mind! Wow! The Suicide Storm! Catching all of those drones. What a play. What a heads-up play from PusaN there. Dang, there's 1 drone here at the 5th base at all right now. Did I drop the... Yes, sorry about that. We're back. The APM tab and everything's back up here. PusaN pushing towards Zerg headquarters here. There's your Dark Swarm. There's your Archon count. There are your Dragoons. There's your Storm. And it's just... feels like almost a desperation push here for PusaN. He's expanding behind this into the center of the map, which is so hard to hold. The Nidus Canal gets taken down. No reinforcements here at all. The Hydralisk Den dying would be huge, and he is going to get it. Only 200 HP. There's your focus. It's down. Hatchery going to die here too. Tons of drones going to go down. Is PusaN going to take down one of the greatest Zerg players on Earth here? I don't know. I don't know. Where's the army? Though these lurkers say you're never getting out, by the way. You can kill my natural, you can kill my main, but that's where all the tech structures are. Dude, get up here. Get on up here. Eggs have 10 armor. They're very hard to kill, but you can get there eventually, especially if you're Archoning it up real nice. Archon trying to do stuff at the 5th, like 4 lurkers and it's sunken enough to take that sucker down, as it turns out. So the main base losing the Defiler Mound, losing the Spire, losing the Queen's Nest. Oh my gosh, are these still more stuff over here? Yes, still more drops. Dark Templar, an Archon coming in here. PusaN's multitasking has been almost insane in this game. It has been very, very good, and that's the main base gone. Main base gone for Savior. He loses all of his tech structures entirely. He has rebuilt his Hydralisk Den because he's making Hydras. Where, though? Oh, down here at his 6 in the bottom right. Okay. All right, that's fine. The lurkers all picked up and said, fine, you can leave if you want. We're not going to hold a grudge. Is this base going to die too, though? Oh, my God. Observers getting picked off. Nicely done. Nicely done. Picking off the observers there. No detection means it's very hard to kill lurkers. 10 lurkers in production for Savior. If he can win this thing, it's going to be with the power of a lurker. The middle section being attempted to be taken again by PusaN. He's desperately trying to get this thing. It's 116 to 119 supply. That is so many lurkers there. Storms come up. Dark Swarm comes up. Couple lurkers die to the storm. They were already injured. Obviously, this one storm cannot kill a lurker. But you have enough storms. You can do it. 2 storms will do it for sure. Is he just going to wander past? He's just going to slip right on past. Wow. What a baller move. He's like, I don't have to engage with those lurkers. Get out of here. I don't have to engage at all. Archon fight. Archon fight. Dark Swarm up. Hydras swinging from the left side. Additional reinforcing units coming in from the right side. This game, you guys, I don't know if I can keep up. I'm trying so hard right now. There is so much going on. Oh, drone massacred! A drone massacred of epic proportions by those Archons. The lurkers are trying to get rid of these guys. Get them out of the neighborhood. Where is the Dark Swarm? There is no Dark Swarm. The Defiler's over here. It doesn't have the energy. There it does. Just barely has the energy. But a lot of lurkers die. Is he going to keep this middle base? If PusaN can hang on to this middle base, I really, really like his chances to win this thing. Immensely, immensely love his chances to win this thing. Oh, BW Replays, thank you so much for sending this in. Sending it in, or posting it. Yeah, you post it on the website. Nobody sent this to me. I think I found it. Anyway, Plague on this, all the center structures here, which we're going to be on blue fire for sure. For sure, the probes coming down to start mining. This is massive for PusaN. He needs this economic advantage. He needs the income this will provide. He has 60 gas in the bank right now. He needs to get those assimilators. He's getting the assimilator. Here comes Savior, though, from all directions. Getting lurkers up, getting hydras in. That's so many hydras in. That is your good game. PusaN taps out. And Savior wins it in 35 minutes and 5 seconds. What a match. What a match. PusaN gave Savior everything that Savior could handle. But in the end, it was income. In the end, it's always income. Mining base here for Savior. Mining base here for Savior. This was dead. PusaN needed this center base. There was really nowhere else to go. You don't want to expand here. That's too close to a Zerg player, and they have the high ground. Can't expand here. Same story. Bracketed by Zerg. It's not good. The center base, he took the risk. He took the gamble because he had to. I don't know how many workers Savior had left. I mean, look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. And then maybe like 5 or more here. So I think he maybe had 20, 25 workers. He lost a lot of drones during storm drops over here, storm drops over here. When those drones, for some reason, were transferring, I think from the top left to the bottom right, and the Archons caught them right here and just obliterated them. It was problematic. Problematic there for Savior, but he managed to get it done. Hydras, yo. Not even fully upgraded Hydras, by the way. Not even +3. But Dark Swarm was beautiful. The Plagues were very, very good. Wow. PusaN. Amazing stuff, dude. I'm trying to see. I looked at his list of achievements on Liquidpedia, and they weren't incredible. They weren't amazing. He had a bunch of third place finishes just over the course of his career. He played in the 2009-2010 Pro League season, qualified for OSL League in 2009. Yeah, I don't get it. I like him, though. I need more of this guy. I need to find more PusaN plays, because if you could take Savior to a 35-minute game, that is very close. I mean, sure, this army is not huge, but the additional income is really what mattered. We mentioned that. All right, let's check out that final score. And look at that. Total score here, 29,000 to 29,000. That is as close as you're going to get in a 35-minute game for sure. Ended up killing 645 units that are Protoss player. Savior just produced 839 structures lost by both players, well over 20 into the 30s here. And then resources, that's Savior, man. More gas mined, more minerals mined, more total spent. That's why he can afford to lose these units. It is classic Zerg play. You'll lose the units, but you replace them over and over and over again and just try to overwhelm your opponent through sheer numbers. It is the Zerg strategy. Again, also amazing Dark Swarm and great Plagues, and transitioning to Hydra when your opponent goes for too many Archons. Done. Simple, simple, simple. All right, well, that is going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead and hit that like button. Hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.